Well, hey YouTube. So we're back on this thing. We do have our transmission put back in, and look, you guys maybe hear it. It turns freely and it doesn't rub anymore. Our clutch is, I mean, it works well now, so I'm happy with that. Like I said, we've got this down flush, and well, I got tired of staring at it. You know how these are, you know, the gold or brass colored back wheels and then the aluminum front wheels. Didn't like how that looked. I just got tired of looking at it, staring at me while I was putting that transmission back in. So yeah, we painted the wheels, and we got our seat mounted, but we're going to take a look at this engine. And sorry, I'll get my arm out of your way. Take a look at this engine, and we haven't tried to start it yet. I mean, we pulled it off of this before we did anything, but can you guys hear the valve train clicking? I'll bring it closer. Let's get our valve covers off and take a look underneath. All right, we got our valve covers off. We'll see. We do have considerable play in our rockers. Well, this one's open, so that's not going to give us an accurate reading. There. We do have play in them. To get to the cams in these, the flywheels have to come off, and then this cam chest comes off of there, down inside. You guys remember that little M12B engine? I'll put a link to it up there. We'll see what this looks like, because essentially this is twice that, just laying flat. So let's start off. We're gonna lubricate all this and see if that helps with our noise, just to see. And if we need to get in here and adjust our valves, we surely will. But we are going to start this up with the valve covers off, so that way if we need to get back in here, well, we're already to it. So we can get these all oiled up. I've had a few comments on this about, well, the cam's almost having a square lobe on them, and it sure sounds like it, and it kind of goes against my better judgment, but I do want to start this up just the way it came from the factory to see, you know, what we've got. That did help quite a bit. Oil up down here in our push rod tubes, and then we're going to take our rear cover off back here, and we're going to look inside to see how much oil goes in here. I'm sure you guys can still hear it, but it sounds a whole lot better than it did. So, all right. Well, let me get this rear cover off. We'll take a look down on the inside, be able to see our crank and see what's inside there. So let me get all these bolts out. All right. Well, we've got our rear cover off, and you guys see down in there? See how these pistons run? They run back and forth at the same time. So I don't know how smooth of an engine this is going to be when it runs, but if we look at our valve events, they fire at opposite times. So it will run like a true twin cylinder, but they share a common wrist pin. Or not wrist pin, but it's a common crank pin. So it's a little bit different. Not exactly what I was expecting, but let me show you. It's not the same engine, but we can look at this little M14. I was kind of expecting it to be like this, where they ran opposite of one another, but no, not on this one. So I'm sure it'll have a distinct sound too. So let's see what we can get in here for oil. We'll fill it up to where we're, well, you guys can't see that. There's this lip on the inside too, and it's rounded out for clearance for our counterweights. So we're going to put our oil in there till we're just right there, getting ready to spill out. I'll let you guys know how much that takes. We've got 30 milliliters in our SAE 30 oil right here. That's full, and it looks like it took about 7 milliliters. So I'll show you guys in there if you can see the oil level. You see our rods dipping into it. Probably not too well. But all right, well, let me get this rear cover on, and I'll mount it right back to our tractor, and I'm gonna try and fire it up tonight, guys. So sit tight. All right, well, we've got our rear cover on. Our crankcase is full of oil, and that clicking is really calmed down a lot just from lubing it. Who would have thought? But let me set him right here. Let's get our tractor sitting back over here, and well, we'll put our engine back on. So I'll go ahead and get our motor mounts bolted back down, and then put fuel in our fuel tank, put some water in our hopper, get our throttle linkage hooked up, and put batteries in our rear end, reinstall our drawbar, and we'll probably leave the drive belts off for now. We'll run the engine, and then we'll hook it up, and we'll see if our transmission repair turned out. So let me get this bolted in. All right, guys, well, our engine's mounted back on here. Everything's hooked back up. We did put batteries in the case. Our rear switch is on. The switch up here on the dash is not on yet, and our drawbar's on. Let's get some fuel in our tank here, and for our fuel we are going to be using the same 40-to-1 VP ethanol free 94 octane rating fuel. Fuel tank's full. I'll put our cap back on, and then we'll get some water. And not sure if it's full or not, but we know it has some in it. So let me grab the drill and the drill start attachment. I'll get this guy spun around right now, and then we'll flip our ignition on, and hopefully we have a running model now. We'll let it sit here and run for a little bit, and then we'll put our drive belts on. So, all right, well, we got our drill and drill start attachment. I'll see if I can do this without smacking the camera this time. I'll move it over a little bit. So, turn our ignition on. There. We got something. Sorry, I keep getting this hand in your way. Might need a little bit more fuel to it. I'll open that main jet just a touch. Give it a little bit more. It seems to like it if I just choke it a little bit, so. It almost acts like it only wants to run on one cylinder. All right, well, I'm not sure what's going on here, guys. We'll get it figured out. We just haven't figured it out yet, that's all. I'm just impressed that I haven't smacked the camera with the drill yet, but we haven't got it running either. Alright, well, I'm going to pull the spark plugs out of this. We'll see what we've got. I don't know if we've got a misfire or what exactly is happening, but yeah, we'll get these plugs out of here and we'll see what happens. Alright guys, well, I haven't tried it yet, but I did take the spark plugs out, clean them, but there was considerable oil residue on the plugs, and this plug wire on this back side over here, the wires were halfway down the boot, so it could have been arcing out, maybe not. And if you notice here, the only way to get those plugs out of there is to take the push rods off, and those are held in place by these. They're just guides, but they also help to fill in, you know, the gap back here. So we'll leave those off. And, well, they're gonna have to come off if we got to dig into this further and get underneath of it. So keep your fingers crossed. We're gonna try it again. It's so frustrating when it's a small little thing like this and you just can't get it. We have plenty of schmoo coming out of our pipe. Reassuring. That one sweet spot where it wants to try to go. And I can't get the drill out of there in time. But we'll get it. I won't make you guys sit through all this either. This is the second attempt, so come on. It is running, guys, but we got some tweaking to do on this guy. Because that's about all we get. Not sure what's going on yet, but we'll get to it. We've got just very bad throttle response and terrible hard to start. And I know that these carburetors, just, you know, looking at them funny, though, is too much of an adjustment. and then it just pukes. So, all right, well, I'll keep working on this. We won't call it a video yet, but I'll edit most of this out, but I'll let you guys know that, yeah, this in here did not want to start very easy, and well, you guys will get to see it. So, all right, guys, well, I stayed out here in the shop and well, kind of beat my head against this little thing, and you know, they always say that you need to learn from experience, and that got me thinking. You guys remember on that Sison 4-cylinder flathead? Well, if you haven't seen it, I'll put it up here. But these damn boots, I'll tell you what, I'd rather get shocked by, you know, my body telling my brain it's stupid for touching the top of a spark plug than to sit there and fight and fight and fight. But, well, let's see what happens here. I say that before we even try to show you, but it's running on 2. We have our throttle response. It does have a very neat sound to it. This is that 90 that it came with. Shut it off. Let's put our belts on. That's another thing we got to check to see is how well these line up now that we've got that clutch basket bearing repaired. We'll put them on. Now we're going to check our clutch out. Oh, remember this came with that recoil rope assembly right here. It's absolutely useless because your belts ride, well, right there where that's supposed to, you know, engage. So I got this, and I got to move this one over. I got it in the wrong groove on our rear pulley. There we go. All right, well, our clutch is in. We're out of gear. So let's start this guy up and see what we got. Sounds pretty good when you get a load on it. Alright, well, I'm going to get it in gear. Let's look and see how this lines up. Our belts are nice and in line again. I don't know if I'll be able to get my hand in there, but let's try to start it by hand to see what happens. There. Well, I guess it is a ready to run model now. So. Alright. Well, hey, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for sticking around. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I mean, it wasn't too bad. I guess I'm more frustrated myself for those damn boots, but it's my own fault. I should have learned from, well, my past experience on them. So if you guys get one and you just keep fighting it and chasing it, check your spark plug, because, well, we've had bad ones of those before also. And those boots, they'll arc right down the side and randomly. So, all right, guys. Well, once again, thank you so much. You guys are fantastic. I appreciate you watching. I enjoy reading all of your comments. And, well, Now that we got this in here to where we can start it and run it, we will let's say we work on something next that doesn't have a spark plug. All right. Thanks, guys. We'll see you in a few days. Bye.